Hi everybody, this is Vicky from singlemotherahoy.com and you're listening to my podcast. First things first, I really need to say thank you to my sister and her friend Giles, who very kindly got together and put together that music you've just heard in my intro. I got sick of kind of bodging it with random recordings I've made myself, so I asked them to do one for me. And I really like it. I'm really pleased with it. I hope you like it too. So thank you very much to Giles and Af. Now on with the show. Today's podcast is all about how to know what to post on Facebook. So I've done a lot of podcasts about, getting more engagement and doing this and doing that and all kind of aspects of Facebook. But I've never actually told you kind of how to figure out what to post. So I thought I'd do that today. So what you need to do on your page, go into your insights and have a look. If you go to insights and then posts, it will show you a handy graph of when most people are online. But then if you scroll down below that, it will show you every single post, the reach and engagement that you've had for it. So what you need to do is scroll back through. Now this depends on how many posts you post in a week. I do a lot of posts every week, so I can look back over the course of a month. It's going to take me probably an hour to look at them monthly, so I try and look at them weekly. Have a look over the last week or month, depending on how many posts you've got to kind of go through, and figure out which ones are your most popular, which one's got the most reach. Have a look, maybe the 5 or 6 or maybe 10 if there were lots of different kinds. The top ones, the ones with the most reach. I tend to draw the line at kind of 1,000 or 1,500. Anything above that, I look at what it is and try and figure out what it was about that made it so popular. So it might be that they're all videos, or that they're all links on a specific theme, or they're all pictures of something, or quotes, or you get the idea. You're trying to figure out what it is that's made them popular, what it is that's given them that reach. It's important to note here the difference between reach and engagement. So we're talking here about organic reach. That means reach that you've not paid for, you've not boosted any posts, just people organically coming along, sharing your content, what have you. Reach is that a post has appeared on a timeline. It's been put under somebody's nose, basically. It's reached them. It doesn't mean that they've read it, liked it, shared it, commented on it, anything. They've not interacted with it in any way. It's just appeared under their nose. So you want reach because you want your posts to reach people, obviously. What you want is for your post to reach them and then engage with them. So the next step then is to look at your list of posts that have had the most reach and see if they've also had a lot of engagement. Most of them probably will have done, because otherwise it's the engagement that causes them to reach further. But kind of look at whether that's comments or likes, or what's kind of got the ball rolling with those, and see if you can replicate that. Basically, your engagement is your likes, shares, and comments, and that's what you want to get, really. So how do you do that? That's the really tricky part. There is no surefire. I could say to you, you need to write a post that says XXX, blah, blah, blah. And then you will have lots of reach and engagement. It's all down to your audience. Who's your audience and who likes your page? So for me, I've got a lot of parents who like my page, and they like to comment on parenting things. So quite oddly, or quite surprisingly, when I did this, I found that a lot of the posts that were most popular were not photos of my daughter. I post a lot of photos of my daughter because I enjoy doing that, and I know a lot of people have said to me that they like seeing them. But the most popular posts were kind of random things. So the most popular picture of her was a picture of her splashing in a puddle, which was kind of, you could see the joy on her face. It was a great capture. I was very lucky to get it. But other popular posts were things like links to news articles, comment pieces, funny videos. Those videos you get where people make a weird kind of food, or they make food in a weird way. I put up a video where I think people were wrapping dough around ice cream cones or something very weird to make like little fajita things. That one was really, really popular. And another one that was really popular was a post that a friend of mine kindly shared to my wall, a picture of a chair whose kind of frame was made up of bookcases, so you had somewhere to keep your books. So, none of that is necessarily anything to do with what I blog about. So that brings me back to what I kind of say every week in this podcast about, you can post links to your blog, but that's not necessarily what's going to get the engagement. The trick with engagement and reach is once you have that reach on a few posts, Facebook will show your links to your blog to more people to start off with. So you'll get that reach for your blog posts if you're posting the content that people are interested in the rest of the time. So kind of play around with it. If you've not, up until now, if you've only posted links to your blog, you might find that there are a couple of posts on your blog that have really had the most engagement and what have you, and you can see from that what people are interested in. But I would say experiment with it. I spend a lot of the time that I'm on Facebook now, I'm looking through other pages and pictures and videos and links to blog posts and articles to see what I can share onto my page. And just to kind of to get a wide variety, and I've really experimented with what kind of things do people like, and I'm still working on that at the moment. It's going to be a weekly process for me, looking at what's been the most popular and kind of pulling out from that what kind of things to post next week, if you see what I mean. So what you're looking for on your Facebook page is a connection. You want a community, really. You want people to feel engaged, or at least I'm hoping that's what you want, because realistically, if you don't have that connection with people, they really don't care. If you look at the bigger pages out there, they don't often kind of have a big company kind of corporate feel to them. It'll be kind of family. We like this. We love it when you do this. People like innocent smoothies. Even like individuals who are really, really hyper famous. Brendan Burchard, if you look at his page, he talks about we and us, and we're in this together, and he makes you feel like you're part of a community. That's what people want on Facebook. They're going to engage with you if they feel like they're part of something, if they're emotionally invested in the outcome of your story, or if they're emotionally invested in what's going on in your life, or whatever it is that you're posting, or if you're posting something, inspirational or what have you. You kind of have to gauge it by who's on your page at the moment. But also bear in mind that as you get new likers, that might change slightly, and it's what you're attracting, really, and you need to look into that as well. So my final tip really is, before you post anything, just have a think, why do I share things on Facebook? I share things on Facebook if I think it's going to be interesting to my audience, if it will... Basically, the psychology behind people sharing things on Facebook is that it'll make me look good if I have it on my page. It'll not necessarily make me look good, but it'll give me authority. So, the latest news story makes me look like I'm on the ball, or the funniest thing makes people think, she's always got the funniest stories or something. So that kind of, when you put something onto your page, you should be thinking, will people find this and want to share it? Will it make them feel good to share it? Will it make them feel like they're on the ball, like they've found the funniest news story this week, or the funniest video or something? Will people want to share it? Is there value in it? Is there interest in it? Is it relevant to my kind of USP, or the reason I'm doing this? Is it relevant to my blog or my business, or what I'm trying to sell, or what the message I'm trying to get across? And you kind of need to kind of think about all that before you post. Now, for me, I tend to have two different kinds of audience, really. I've got kind of parents and people who are into parenting and interested in my life as a single parent, and those people, they like seeing pictures of my daughter. They like to hear what's going on in our lives. They find it hilarious when she's running around the house naked singing. So there's that kind of side of it. But I also have the side that listens to this podcast, that wants to know how to blog, how to use social media, wants to learn about productivity and all that sort of thing. So I kind of have two sides on my page, and to be honest, I'm still in two minds whether I should separate that out and have one page for Single Mother Ahoy and one page for the business side of things. I'm still in two minds about that, but for the moment I post things on both sides, and quite often there's an overlap as well. A lot of single parents, or a lot of parents, are also in business, also blogging, also interested in those things. Which is what has stopped me from splitting it out so far. So there's kind of a lot of things to think about, like who is your target audience, and do you think they'd be interested? So my general rule of thumb is, am I interested in this? Do I find this interesting? But also you kind of think, I find it interesting, if my daughter's wearing pink knickers today, I find it interesting, there's a line where what you find interesting, what's relevant to you is not necessarily relevant to your followers. And I guess it's about finding that line. And the way to do that, as I said at the beginning, look at your insights, look at what's happened over the last week, last month, which were your most popular posts, what do they have in common, and go from there. I'd love to hear if you've tried this. I'd love to hear how you got on. Were you surprised by what you found? Was there something that you just kind of shoved up because, randomly one day and it actually had like 5,000 likes or something? I'd love to hear what you think and how you've got on. Do let me know. That's it from me for this week. Thank you for listening. You can find me at singlemotherhoy.com or at facebook.com/singlemotherhoy. I'd love to hear your comments, and I will be back next week with more. Thanks for listening.